this. The question, where am I? I'm in Kharkiv right now. I don't know if maybe anybody has told you how strong the Ukrainian people are. And I've traveled to 45 countries on planet Earth, been traveling for the last 25 years. And I want to tell you that all of your family members, all of your brothers and uncles and cousins and grandfathers and fathers that are out fighting in the war, they're so brave and they're so strong. And I want the world to follow the example of all of the citizens of your country. And I have something to show you before we do some question and answer. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I don't know if you remember the t-shirt that everybody has been wearing that says, I'm Ukrainian. You know, give me a thumbs up if you've seen the I'm Ukrainian t-shirt, right? Well, the other day, I was in a tattoo shop in Kyiv, Ukraine, and got myself a tattoo that says I'm Ukrainian, right? And this is why. I'll tell you why I did that. I'll tell you why I'll be proud to have that tattooed across my chest for the rest of my life. It's because the Ukrainian people that I've met and worked with, all the citizens of your country, you are setting an example of what the good use of freedom is. That's what we're fighting for, right? For freedom. For the right to be able to live our lives the way we want to and choose our dreams that we dream about and the future that we want. Well, the Ukrainian people, in my eyes, are leading the free world, are leading the 1.6 billion of us who get to live a free life. And you are setting an example of how free people should live. And so when I'm 80 years old and I look back at my time in Ukraine and the people that I met, I know that I will be proud to say that Ukraine is close to my heart, literally on my chest, and you'll be with me forever as long as it takes for victory. So I'm happy to be here of service and happy to volunteer and do whatever I can to help people and help your family members and do whatever I can to bring smiles to the face of people in Ukraine. And so that's my story, and certainly you can ask more questions about it. But I'm proud to be Ukrainian, an honorary Ukrainian, and Slava Ukraine.
Героям слава. Okay, so we can have a question time, yeah? So is it okay? So, oh, wow, I'm so impressed by your tattoo. Actually, I saw it in your Instagram, so I know about it. Yeah. Now, guys, I will paste the link to Mark's Instagram to the chat so you can check it. And if you would like to ask something, to say something, it's not like, you know, you have to have very sophisticated questions. You can have any questions. Yeah. Please raise your hands and I will unmute you. Yeah. Okay. So I see Ілля. І, друзі, до речі, якщо ви хочете запитати щось українською, запитуйте, я перекладу. I say that I can translate into English as well. So if they are free to ask questions in Ukrainian too. Okay, so think about your questions, and we have Ilya. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Ilya, and I have 3 questions for you. First question, what are the feelings when you fly?
Say that one more time, Ilya.
What are the feelings when you fly?
When I fly,
Yeah.
what are the things?
Yeah.
Feelings.
Oh,
Yeah.
feelings when I fly. I think it's exciting to fly. Did you know that, let's see, it's 2023. So I think it was 121 years ago that human beings learned how to fly. That's a really crazy thing, to be able to fly through the air like a bird, right? And so when you get to do that, it really, it shouldn't be forgotten that you're almost performing a miracle, that you get to fly through the air like a bird and go from the United States of America across the entire ocean and wake up after you're done sleeping in the plane to land in Poland or you know, land in Europe. And it's really a modern miracle. So I think my feelings are one of excitement.
Yeah.
What was your next question, Ilya?
Yeah. Next question is, our vision is important for this profession.
Ти маєш на увазі
Elena, what,
зір, так? Там чи зір?
Yeah.
Зір. Ага, yeah, I got it. I got the question. So, Ілля,
We cannot hear you. Sorry, Elena. Unmute yourself. What was his question? Oh,
yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. Okay, once again. So, Ilya would like to know, is the eyesight important for this profession, for this job? So,
oh, certainly, absolutely. If you don't have good eyesight, you can't do the job. And so we make sure that we have what we call 20/20 vision, and make sure that's something that the people in the Air Force have taken care of, and we select those people with good vision. Absolutely.
Yeah. And last question. What were the most interesting incidents on the plane?
Oh, my job mostly was to watch the planes on the radars when they were flying over near China. And so I think the most interesting thing that I saw on our radar screen was when I think it was it the Summer Olympics that were in Beijing? I think it was summer, maybe it was the Winter Olympics. I don't know. But I got to watch our President Barack Obama, fly across the screen over to Beijing, China. And it was like the seas parted. You know, the dots on the radar are full of planes all over the screen as we watched from the bunker. And then as Air Force One, our president's plane, flew through the screen, it was like there was this like the seas parted and all the planes disappeared as Air Force One zoomed across the screen and then landed in Beijing. And so everybody gets out of the way for our president.
Yeah.
Thank you for your questions, Ilya.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you, Ilya. Wonderful questions. Arsen.
Hello, I wanted to say thank you for everything you do for Ukraine.
Thank you, my friend. It's my honor to serve your people. And let me tell you, it's easy to serve and volunteer for people who are so polite. And everywhere I go, they make me a bowl of borscht, and you know, they give me gifts and thanks. And so I always tell my friends back in America, I wish you could feel the hugs. I wish you could, you know, get the handshakes and hear the words of thanks. So it really is my honor to serve out here and do what we're doing. So appreciate it, though.
Thank you, Arsen, for your comment. Alexandra, I see you raised your hand.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask in which year you sang on a football match? In which year it was? Oh.
I think the connection might be unstable, so we will wait. We will wait for Mark to come back. So, guys, I put the link to Mark's Instagram. Can you see it in the chat? Yeah. You can follow him and like his photos on Instagram if you have an account there. Друзі, бачите, що у Марка нестабільний інтернет, так, там в Харкові. Але так, чекаємо, поки він приєднається знову. Трішки треба зачекати. Поки ми чекаємо, ми, як завжди, можемо зробити те, що ми робимо часто. Напишіть, з якого ви міста дивитеся нас. Я знаю, Поліна, звідки ви дивитесь нас. Я знаю, що Поліна дивиться нас з Харкова. Так. Йоджа, а яке це місто? Яка це країна? Я маю на увазі, яка це країна? О, Вінниця, так, я бачу. Дніпро, зараз я Івано-Франківську, Київ, Київ, Полтава, Львів. Угу. Катя, а можете, будь ласка, підхопити? Зараз я гляну, можливо, Марк мені писав щось в WhatsApp. Перевірю, візьму. Можете?
Так, звичайно. Так, читаю з кінця. Заліщики, Польща, Глівіце. Так, знову додається Чернігівська область, Вишгород, біля Венеції. Ага, зрозуміло. Це, так, Болгарія, Дніпро, Італія, Львів. Хтось, багато людей у Львові, можете якось пересіктися. Так, Київ, Гамбург, Івано-Франківськ. Люблю Івано-Франківськ. Дуже маленьке миле місто. Вінниця, Полтава, Київ. Чудово. Так. Угу. А напишіть, скільки вам років в чаті.
I'm back.
Здається, Марк повернувся. Чудово. Будемо намагатися, так? Угу.
Mark, are you back? Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Alexandra, I was right in the middle of your question. Go ahead and ask that again. Sorry, the internet connection went out.
Okay, don't worry. In which year did you sing on a football match which you said you were in?
Which year did I sing for the football games?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing that for our American football since 2014. You know, your national anthem, right? Certainly, every nation has a story of when that song was written. And I know the Ukrainian national anthem as well. I learned it while I was here, and OU Luzi. But our national anthem was written on September 14th of 1814. And so on September 14th of 2014, 200 years after our national anthem was written, I got to sing my very first game for our American professional football for 52,000 people at once. And that was kind of scary because I'd never sung for a crowd that big before. And since, you know, I was able to do that well that day, since 2014, I've been able to sing every year for the big games. We have something called Monday Night Football. It's the biggest games of the year. And so been able to do that for, well, what is the math? About 9 years I've been able to sing for our big crowds, 50 and 60 and 70,000 at a time, and perform for 500,000 people a year or so, and about 30 million people on television. And so it's really an honor to sing your nation's anthem. So it's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I understand. And I have another question. That when you came personally to Ukraine now, were you scared of air alerts? Oh no.
You know, I'll be honest, I wasn't, only because I had been through that before. When I was in Afghanistan in 2011, we were under air raid sirens. But that first time back in 2011, that was pretty scary. I had never experienced anything like that. We don't have air raid sirens in the United States of America. And so I was scared back then, but as I think maybe everybody has experienced, after you hear it day after day after day, somehow we adjust to that and we adapt, and it becomes less scary. It doesn't mean that there isn't any danger, but I was able to handle it pretty well when I got into Lviv and Kyiv and heard those sirens. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for your question.
Yeah, and we had a question connected to that in the chat. Do you hide when there is air alert? I think you are, right? You do.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
So we have a question from Diana in chat, and the question is, do you hide when there is an alert outside?
Oh, I guess it depends on where we are and what we're doing. A lot of times if I'm at a hotel, they make us go down to the basement. But, you know, if we're out driving, what can we do? We have to deliver the supplies where they need to go. So we try to follow the rules whenever we can, but it's not always possible, as you know.
Yeah, but guys, you know, I think you know this. If you hear the air alert outside, you have to go to the shelter. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and there is one more question in the chat. Why did you choose this profession?
The profession of volunteering here or singing?
I guess it's piloting.
Oh, well, one thing that I want to clear up, I supported the pilots in the United States Air Force. There's only 1% of the Air Force that flies the planes. And so I was an intelligence analyst that did the communications back and forth for our pilots in China or around China. And so I think it's because I wear that bomber jacket. I think the reporters think I'm a pilot too, but I did not fly the planes, only supported those people on our Air Force bases. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh wow, we have a question. Can you see this question? I will copy and paste it to the chat. Can you see it? Is HRSH 2176 Ranger Handbook good enough to be well prepared?
I think so. If it comes from the United States Army Rangers, you can read every word of that book and you'll be well prepared. Absolutely. I'm impressed that you know the code of the book. Well done. Must be doing good studying.
Yeah, I guess I will read the name of the person. This is Golovchenko Katerina. Yeah, thank you, Katerina, for this question. So, Max, I see you raised your hand, but I'll ask you to turn on your camera, okay? Yeah, that's the rule. I can't see.
I have no questions. I just wanted to say that you are very cool.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Max. Thank you. Okay, guys. So if you have questions, I see Polina. She's like shaking her hand.
She's got a good question. I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you. I have got a straight question. I'm so sorry. But the first is, how many years have you been a military pilot?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
so
I'm sorry, Mark, sorry for interrupting you. So this was me who wrote this announcement. Yeah, and I wrote that you were a pilot. I'm sorry for this confusion, but I think that's okay. So you can explain us more about your work.
Yeah, so I was in the United States Air Force for 6 years. And so that was back in 2006. Gosh, that seems like a long time ago. But I started off when I was 26 years old. And then when I got out of our military, after my contract was done, I was 32 years old. And so haven't been in the military now for 9 or 10 years, but really proud to support your military in what they're doing today. Absolutely.
Thank you. And I have
Thank you.
Second, it's, what do you like most about your profession?
Oh, I think the performing and bringing smiles to people's faces. You know, when I sing, I think it brings happiness to people, right? And that's why we did the concert in Kharkiv when there was, you know, a very, very hot zone here in Kharkiv. And that's why we're going to plan more concerts throughout the country, is because when you're sitting at a concert, when you're listening to someone sing and you're listening to music, maybe you can forget about all the troubles of the world, right? All the things going wrong. And so that's what we did in Afghanistan and all throughout the Middle East, in Kuwait, and Kyrgyzstan and Oman, all over the Middle East, because when you're at war, it can sometimes get pretty sad, right? And so we want to bring something that brings a little bit of joy and makes you feel normal again, which going to a concert and hearing people sing might make you feel normal. And so that's one of the things that we'll continue to do here in Ukraine.
And I have got the last question. Is what is your favorite city in Ukraine, or maybe all cities the best?
I mean, it is hard to choose. I love different things about different cities, but I really love Kharkiv. We spent 3 months here last year and just got to know people that were working so hard, because the city was pretty empty back in June and July and August when I got here. And so to work with the people who stuck with it and were okay with taking a little bit more risk and really doing everything they can to feed people and serve them, I just fell in love with this city where I am right now.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you for everything you do for Ukraine. Thank you very, very much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you, Polina. Thank you. Sophia, I see you raised your hand.
Yeah, so did you have any connections with Ukraine, like maybe some friends or people who know?
Before February 24th, I didn't know anybody in Ukraine. I had never met a Ukrainian person before. I mean, I probably had met someone from Ukraine, but we just didn't talk about it. I didn't know. And so as soon as I announced that I was going over to Ukraine, more Ukrainians in America would reach out to me, and I started making Ukrainian friends. And then once I got here, I'm a people person. I love people. I love meeting people and having coffee with them and sharing stories. And so have gotten to know hundreds and hundreds of people here in your country. And they're the best people ever. They're the best people ever, because here's why. And I'll tell you why I think that Ukraine and your country will be one of the most powerful in the world in the future. Because right now, everybody in Ukraine that's volunteering and helping out, you're learning to solve problems together and forgetting all the differences, right? I look different than many of you because I was born in Seoul, Korea. And many people have a hard time working together with people that are different than them or have different ideas or opinions or lifestyles. But the Ukrainian people right now are learning how to work together, put aside all those differences and just say, we have a greater cause. We have a greater reason to be together. And that's why I think that the Ukrainian people will be one of the most powerful societies to lead the rest of the free world in the future. That's why I love working here in Ukraine with people who are just great people.
Thank you. Appreciate your help and your support. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Sophia. Maxim?
Yes, I have two questions to you. What did you do and what you will do for Ukraine?
Thank you, Maxime. Good question. So mostly we delivered medical supplies, bandages and things that would help people that are sick. We delivered them to hospitals. We delivered them to military people. And what I will do in the future is I'm going to Kyiv. I'm getting a flat right outside of the Maidan. And I'm going to be starting a radio show and a podcast that I will broadcast back in America. And I want to tell stories of people that are in your family. I want to tell stories of the volunteers and the stories behind all the supplies that we brought in. Because, like I said, I've got hundreds and hundreds of Ukrainian friends. I've got hundreds and hundreds of Western European friends and Americans that came over here to help. And so I've got to tell their story. That's the other thing that I do for a living, is I perform on stage and I tell stories at like a work conference. When your parents go to a work conference once a year and they learn about their industry, I speak at those conferences. And so I can tell the story of all the good work that's been done out here. So I'm going to do that on my radio show and podcast and hopefully raise more money, hopefully get more supplies, and make sure that everybody has what they need here in Ukraine. That's what I'm going to do in the future. Good question. Good question, Maxine.
Okay, thanks, Maxim, for question. Ruslana, what is your question?
Hello. I'm
Hello.
Markov, and my question is, do you want to live in Ukraine when the war will go away?
Yes, I do. And first, I want to say, Ruslana, you have a great name because do you know the singer Ruslana, of course, who won Eurovision, right? I got to sing with her in Washington, D.C. back in August, and I got to meet another Ruslana with the same name. But yes, the answer to your question, Ruslana, is yes, absolutely. That's why I'm applying for the permanent residency green card, because here's how I see it. If we all work so hard to win a war, and we all work so hard to win our freedom, why wouldn't you want to stay and enjoy it once we win? And so my plan is to stay and maybe get a a little dacha down in the Carpathian Mountains and see some of the other country. We've been working so hard. I haven't been able to travel much to the some of the tourist and beautiful places. So I will definitely spend a lot of time here in Ukraine where I have all my friends. So hopefully one day I can come to your hometown too, and we can meet everybody here.
Thank you, Ruslana. Okay, LT Gera Iceman Serbin, what is your question?
This is my golf line. I am actually an RAF cadet. I'm in England right now. How long have you served in? Sorry, wrong question. Have you ever served in action, like during the war or other than Ukrainian?
First of all, I love your code name. That's like our movie Top Gun, right? Iceman. I love that.
Yeah.
And so I've never been in battle, right? I was in Afghanistan and all over the Middle East, but I never was a frontline infantry troop, right? So I've always been in a support capacity. When we went to the Middle East in Afghanistan and Kuwait, I was there as an entertainer. I got chosen to be a performer and sing for our troops. And so here in Ukraine, I really haven't been to the front line, the zero line either, because I just figure I'm not trained for that. I don't have that training. I was an intelligence analyst and worked for our military intelligence. And so I figure I don't want to get anybody hurt. I don't think it's because I'm not brave enough. I think it's because everybody has their different role in an army. And so I run logistics, I run supplies, I raise money, and I do PR, public relations. And so maybe one day somebody will give me a cool code name like yours, and then I can put that on the news screen when I do interviews. And so if you can think of one, make sure you send me a code name for me. All right, brother?
Okay, and which aircraft have you flown like?
I haven't flown any planes, but I used to support our F-16s, our F-35s, and F-22s, and our cargo planes, C-130, C-5, and C-17s. We used to do a lot of support for our airframes in the U.S.
By the way, this is my little sister.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
All the way from the UK, huh?
Yes. She just came in. I don't know what.
Awesome. Well, thanks for involving yourself in the questions there, brother.
Okay.
You take care.
Okay, thank you, Iceman. Alexandra, here you go.
Yeah, and I have another question. So, in which country you have, in which cities of Ukraine you have already been?
Lviv, Rivne, let's see. Am I saying it Zhytomyr? Is that correct? Chernihiv, Kyiv, Kharkiv, Dnipro, Kramatorsk, Zaporizhia, Vinitsa, and that's about it.
That's a lot. And I have another question about cities. In which Ukrainian city you want to come next?
I really want to go down to Odessa because everybody tells me that's beautiful. I have not been to Kherson yet, and so that's on my list here this spring. And my friend has a dacha outside of Uzhgorod, and so hopefully we'll go there. And I think I'll plan a concert down there as well and do some singing. So want to go there, and yeah, I think those are on my list.
Yeah, they're very cool cities, I know. And thank you for answers.
I can't wait. Can't wait to do more singing in Ukraine. I need to learn more Ukrainian songs, I'll tell you that.
Okay, thank you, Alexandra. Andrei, maybe you can turn on your camera, please. That's a rule.
Oh. Hello, my name is Valeria, and I have a question. What impressed you in Ukraine?
What impressed me was how hard everybody works. You know, I work with volunteers who are working 20 hours a day. And, you know, people that have worked so hard, unfortunately, they got sick and, you know, they had to go to the hospital because they were exhausted, right? And not that you shouldn't take care of yourself, and you know, probably isn't a good idea to work so hard that you have to go to the hospital. But what I see is dedication to other people. You see, you have a choice in a free country to do what you want to do with your time. And I get to meet people who are volunteering all the time, after work, after school. Maybe they don't have a job anymore, but they're still volunteering. And that's inspiring to me, to meet people who give it all and give it all for other people. People that I meet in Ukraine that are volunteering don't do it for the reward. They don't do it for a medal that they'll get or some prize. They do it because it's the right thing to do. And so it's inspiring for me to meet people like that. The other thing I'm really impressed with is everybody is, I would say they have good manners. They're so polite and they're so concerned about the golden rule, treating other people as you'd like to be treated and leaving things better than you found it and doing things the proper way. And it just, in a wartime, sometimes I would think that some of those pleasantries and politeness might be forgotten because things are so urgent. But I see people taking time to treat people in a proper way and be courteous and kind and thoughtful and you know, a good host to a guest. And so it just impresses me that in a time such as this, that people still care about being a good person and care about being kind to others. And so that's the mark of a great society. And that's why I love people in Ukraine so much.
Thanks for the answer. Thanks for the question. Okay, super Taras. Please turn on your camera and you can ask the question. Taras?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm from Kharkiv.
I love it. I love this place. I love this city.
I didn't want to go away from Kharkiv, but mom and dad were a little scared for me.
I understand. It's been kind of scary up here in Kharkiv, and but we're taking care of your neighbors and your friends that are still here, and we're doing whatever we can to serve them and make sure they have everything they need. So beautiful Kharkiv, my home, where my heart is.
Okay, thanks a lot, Taras. Danilo, please.
Hi.
Hello, my friend.
Do you have anything that you take with you on a trip to different countries?
Do I have any things that I take with me? Yes, hold on. I'm gonna go get something. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, this is my cool little Euro bag I throw over my shoulder like that.
Okay.
And so these are my dog tags is what we call them. These are our military identification tags that we would wear in our military. And so I even got a gift from one of the Azov battalions here in Kharkiv. And so I take this with me wherever I go, and soldiers wear these with our name and rank and serial number on it. And so this goes with me all over the world, wherever I travel. What else do I got in here? Oh, goodness sakes. I've got to have my good documents. You know, I have to have, I'll show you this here. One of my family members gave me this ring. It's my, not really my grandfather, but kind of, I think about him as a grandfather. And he gave me this, and he is gone now. He passed away, but he was 98 years old. And so this is his ring that I carry with me wherever I go. So I do have some of the special things that,
I have my
stay with
sharks.
Me. You have your what?
I have my sharks in the trip. It's always my phone in the trips. It's always, and 1 second, please. My bag in the trip. Oh, it's not, is it?
I love it.
And this is my student.
Oh, very good. This is me right here. That's what I carry with me too. Got to have that. Oh, smart. Good deal. Good deal.
And let's find it. No, I don't find it this because it's a 3. My always a trip.
Absolutely. And I want to show you one more thing.
It's very cute.
I carry this with me. A Polish soldier in Przemyśl, Poland, gave me that one. And then this was a soldier from Luhansk.
Oh, it's very cute.
So I carry those with me wherever I go. Good question. Oh, I got one more thing to show you. I carry this with me. This is me from 41 years ago.
Oh.
My name in Seoul, Korea was Sung Jun Park. And so I carry that with me to remind me that there might be a young child in Ukraine that wants freedom just like I did when I was in Korea 41 years ago.
Слава Україні.
Героям слава.
Okay, thanks, Danilo. Anдрій, будь ласка.
Okay, yeah. So my question is, why are you helping? So exactly what makes you help, like, for Ukraine? As you said, you have got plenty of time and you can do with it what you want. And why did you choose exactly to help? For example, not to work or watch just TV, but to volunteer?
It's a great question. And here's my answer. Is in our society, in American society, there's only 7% of the population that serves in the military. And so 93% of American citizens never had military service, never did the military. And so we in the military think that it's our responsibility that if somebody has to go into dangerous places, if somebody has to help the people that are fighting for freedom, then that's our responsibility. Even though I'm done with my professional military career and have been for 11 years, that doesn't mean that the values that we were taught as soldiers disappear. Does that make sense? You know, you learn how to have discipline, you learn how to have honor, you learn how to have integrity, you learn how to live by a code of higher ethics and values. And you learn camaraderie and companionship and friendship and brother and sisterhood. And so that is always with you, no matter if you're in the military or not. And so as a free citizen that, has this passport and I can use it to cross an international border and go help in a place that needs help, the values that the military taught me, I'm just trying to put to use, even though our president isn't giving me orders anymore, or my officers in the Air Force are not telling me I have to. It's now because I want to. And that's the great thing about freedom.
Okay, yeah. And also, how do you know that exactly Ukraine is fighting for freedom? Because in Russian news, it was said like that Russian is fighting for freedom. How did you decide that exactly Ukraine is fighting for freedom? Because when we were in Russia, they said that it is Russia that is fighting for freedom and not Ukraine.
Yeah, I understand your question. I've been studying the planet, for at least 15 years because I was an intelligence analyst in military intelligence. And we know what stages countries are as far as trying to form democracies, have what we call self-determination, being able to choose your own life. And so we understand that Ukraine, since 1991, since the Orange Revolution of 2004, since 2014 Revolution of Dignity, we understand that Ukraine is moving toward a Western-style democracy and has the same values of freedom that we do. And so I knew that about Ukraine. And then, of course, once I got here and realized the way people live and the freedom that does exist here, it's a lot different than a lot of other places with dictators or with autocrats and kings. And so I guess I just knew that Ukraine was the good guys.
Okay, thanks for the answer. And finally, Paulina. Oh.
Thank you. I have got two questions. The first is, what do you like Ukraine and Kharkiv?
What do I like in Ukraine?
Yeah, and in Kharkiv.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kharkiv was a place that when I got here needed the most help of any place that I had been. And so I saw residents that stayed and were helping, people whose businesses were closed, but they were still here helping, people who were living, as you know, in the metro stations, but local people were still coming to help them. And I think maybe that's true about any place that you travel. Maybe it's cool because they have cool statues or cool buildings or cool history, but the best part about places you travel are when you meet great people. And so here in Kharkiv, I met great people who were just really living their lives in a way that was about others. And so that's why I fell in love with this city. And, that's one of my favorite things about Ukraine as I travel around is, as a volunteer, I get to work with the helpers. I get to work with the people who take risks for other people. I get to work with people who work hard for other people. And that's a beautiful thing. If you can find people who serve other people, that's probably going to be a pretty good friend.
Thanks. And I have got the second question is, what is your favorite dish in Ukraine, Ukrainian dish?
Borscht! Of course, borscht! Wherever I go. And I've learned to put the sour cream in it, in the black bread, and I love that. And I don't know how to say it. Is it? It starts with a V, not Valenki. Vareniki. Yes, thank you for bailing me out. The cherry vareniki. So delicious, absolutely. And the shashlik that we get at the Georgian restaurants, it's so good. Yeah. And what's the drink? The juice drink. It's like red juice.
Tomatoes.
Compote.
I can't remember.
Compote.
Compote. Yes. Schmachno. Yes, you got it, Ariana. Compote. Thank you.
I like borscht and compote too. So thank you
That's
very
good.
much.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Paulina. Hello, little Maria. What is your question?
Hello. When you were a kid, you wanted to be a pilot.
When I was a kid, did I want to be a pilot? Is that your question? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a banker. I wanted to have all the money. So, but I also dreamed of being a singer and a performer, because my father is a singer, and he doesn't do it professionally, but I wanted to be like him. And so now I get to live my dream and be a singer and performer just like I always wanted to be. And so it's pretty cool. You can dream a big dream in a free country, and you can work hard to see your dream come true. And I guess my life is evidence of that. And so I hope you dream big too.
Thanks for question. Okay, we have two Maxims. And first, Maxim, please.
Okay, I have a question. Did you subscribe at Volodymyr Zelensky channel?
Oh, of course. First of all, I love your smile, Maxime. That's a great smile. Looking good. But yes, I follow President Zelensky's channel and have listened to all of his speeches when I can, when I have time on the road. And so I just think he's being a great leader right now for the free world.
Me too.
Thank you, Maxim. And Max, please.
Yes. I again have no questions, but I drew you and I want to show you like the drawing.
Oh my gosh.
Where is it?
Look at that. Oh, can I screenshot that? Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay, hold it there. Oh gosh. Maybe I turned off my phone. Oh gosh, am I still here? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a picture of it with my other phone. Hold on. Oh, brother, that is awesome. I love that.
You know, I
Thank you.
ask Max to send this photo to you so I can share, Max.
Yes, sure, I can.
I can.
That'd be amazing.
Mark, can I? How can we do this? So, Max, I will write to you personally. Mark, can I write to Max your email?
Yeah,
address?
of course, of course.
Send you this picture. It's
Yeah, I
wonderful.
can.
It's wonderful.
I'm so honored you took the time to do that and shared your talents. Nice work, brother. Nice work. I don't have those
Thank you.
talents at all. I can sing, but I can't draw. I'll
Thank you
leave
very
that to
much.
you.
Yeah, and I think one more
Thank
last question, and then will be a question from me, the last one.
Okay, got it.
Okay, Denise, please. Maybe you can turn on your camera. That would be great.
So, can I speak here? So, what do you think about art? Like, I mean, paintings or something like this? What do you like?
I love them. I'm actually staying in a friend's hotel right now, and it's kind of a museum. And so we got to see some beautiful paintings on the wall, as you can see behind me.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking today, there was one that was like an African wildlife scene with all of the different elephants and zebras and lions and all of that. And, I was just thinking to myself, like, how powerful is that someone could take a paintbrush and maybe a pencil and some color and create something that moves you or strikes some emotion in you. And so that is the painter or the artist's form of expressing that. And that's kind of similar to when I open my mouth and sing. And I appreciate all art. And I wish I could do like that, like the artist that just drew that drawing or the people that did this.
How much does this painting, for example, cost? Like, what's behind you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they might be priceless. I don't know if they're one of a kind works of art or not, but they certainly seem original. And so actually, when I travel to different countries, I always try to go to the art museums. I visited, I think it was Rembrandt's house in Amsterdam the other day, and I try to see, the Picassos and the Rembrandts and the the Starry Night. It wasn't. I don't know if that was Picasso or not, but I like to appreciate that kind of art and the sculptures that are in the Vatican, in Rome, and always make time for that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Awesome.
you.
And Elena, what was your question?
I have another question. But maybe can I ask Mark to sing? Ask you to sing for us.
Oh, okay, yeah. You want to sing "Oh You Lucy"? Oh you Lucy, czerwona kalina, pokulilasia. Чого наша славна Україна засорилася? А ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо.
Wow, thank you. Okay, thank you, Mark. Thank you for meeting us. Oh, we have Maria. No, so they are clapping. I see they are clapping, but their mics are off. So I say thank you, Mark, for meeting us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was so inspiring meeting. I loved it. And I think I will turn on the mics for all the participants so they can say thank you, and then we end the meeting. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was a really good lesson. Bye.
Much
you.
good.
Thank you very much. Ukraine.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Слава Україні, героям слава.
Слава
Україні!
Україні! Героям слава!
Слава Україні.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Героям слава. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you next time. Bye bye.